Welcome all earthlings and other beings. My name is Lara and this is Zoller Tarot and Art. Thank you for being here. Today I'm going to be reading your cards and I'm also going to be drawing an image at the same time that goes with the reading. So and I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing really well, having a nice happy day. So the image I was seeing was kind of different than what I normally draw. This is sort of has more of a cubist kind of look, a little more abstract. And there are a couple songs that go with the reading that I'll talk about in a little bit. But I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick rough sketch so you can kind of see what the idea is. Then what's going to happen is I'm going to lay out your initial spread. And when that's done, another video will pop in over here where you can watch me mostly complete the drawing. And then at the very end of the entire reading, you can see the finished and colorized drawing. So okay, here's what I was seeing. So I was seeing like dual faces. One face kind of was looking out straight towards you, or towards me, and then there were the eyes, and it was very cubist. So this is not going to be accurate as far as way faces go or anything like that. So anyway, so there was this face looking forward and this face over here. And I almost get a sense that this is something to do with someone being maybe two-faced, possibly. Also, this could be that sometimes we have two sides to us, something along those lines because of the songs. All right, so, and this, what I'll do is I'll just keep developing this, and it kind of goes out into these rays and texturing and everything. And then there was this eye here looking out at you, and this eye here, which goes with this sort of profile type of face. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do your initial spread, and then I'll see you on this other side of that where you can see the drawing being made, and we'll go on with the reading. So here we go. Okay, I have laid out your cards with clarifiers. The drawing should be popping up over here so you can watch that being created while we read the spread. I'm going to do multiple layers here. Also, if you're here, there probably is something for you, but just keep in mind that this is not a personal reading. This is for a collective of people watching at different times. So just take what works for you, and if something doesn't fit, don't try to force fit it, okay? Also, she, he, and they are interchangeable whenever I'm speaking in here, so you just plug in the pronoun that works for you. And yeah, so let's see. Okay, so let's just start up here. So something recently, I feel like maybe it's happening right now, the light's been shown because you've got the sun here. The sun is a really great card, major arcana in the tarot. And it's almost like you were struck. The song that's coming to mind is, it's by Florence and the Machine, called Dog Days Are Over. You might want to listen to that. Anyway, she says, happiness hit her like a bullet in the back. I think that's what she says. And it's just about like this woman's all of a sudden happy, like it hits her, and she tries to run away from it, but she can't. But it's coming in fast, whatever it is. Also, to me, the sun is not just good fortune. It's also about like getting just really clear on things. It's a very, very happy card. And I feel like it was something that maybe you intuitive, because you have the clarifier of the Queen of Cups here. Let me layer this over here. But this is actually really good. It's coming in fast. Because you've been working on trying to build some sort of legacy here. You have the Ten of Pentacles, right? So there's this legacy, maybe generational wealth. You might have been building your wealth, or a career or something like that, that you can either leave your children or just leave something behind in the world that is of value, building some sort of security, because this card is definitely about security. Maybe you inherited something, but you might have been dealing with confusion in the past and everything, but this helps give you more options, and that's really what you want, are more options in life, right? So, but I can see you've been worried here, and then you have another worried card over here, but this one, maybe you lost some sleep over maybe not achieving what this thing was when you wanted to, or maybe it didn't come in the way that you thought. You've been very, very patient, and you've definitely dealt with sorrow, because that's clarifying the Five of Cups here. In the Five of Cups, she's watching all the, the things that are in these bowls go down into this whirlpool. And maybe that's what you had to go through was, letting go of something that really hurt your feelings, maybe a relationship, or not achieving something that you thought you wanted to achieve in a certain way. But she doesn't realize that there's a bowl right next to her that's full of all kinds of rainbow and treasure and everything there. So it's just a matter of shifting your focus. And sometimes we do have to focus on our sorrow and just say, look, I just need to get it out. Just like cry it out, get it out. And then once you do that, then you can go back in and look at what you are grateful for in your life, because gratitude will pull you out of that really fast. But I see that it's definitely caused you some sleepless nights, and you've had to be very, very patient with, your money coming in, your fortune. I'm seeing a lot of material things in here, right? And you've had to do this without all the information. You have the moon here. So there were secrets. There have been secrets or things that you were not privy to. And so because maybe you were blindsided by something, perhaps, I'm not sure, but we'll get more clarifiers on that too. But there was something hidden, and you had to make decisions. Here's a decision card here, and then choices here. Without all the information, right? But I can see you're very strongly intuitive. You have the Queen of Cups here and the High Priestess. And intuition, especially if your intuition is well developed, will definitely serve you well. So it might be that you are either looking for a partnership of some sort, or maybe a love partnership. You have the Lovers here, but you also have the Three of Wands, which is about business expansion. So sometimes the Lovers represents just business partners, someone to pair up with who can help you. It might be that you've tried to do all of this alone, and it might be time for you to either have a partner who is a romantic partner or a business partner. And it might be you're thinking about someone maybe from the past, possibly. You're thinking about the past a lot. This card's all about, being sentimental, remembering things, looking back. But this is about looking forward. So maybe you're looking forward to having some sort of partnership or relationship with someone from the past, right? But for some reason, you've been really stuck in your head. And this has sort of prompted you to maybe try something different. So if all the things that you've been working, that you've been doing haven't been working for you, now it's time to try something different. So doing something completely different possibly. And the Fool is always about trusting, relaxing, trusting in the universe, trusting, trying something new, and just trusting it's going to work out and be okay. Because we can't be afraid all the time. We can't be afraid that we're going to have our heart broken, or that we aren't going to be able to do it. You fail many times before you succeed, often with anything. Anybody who is greatly successful, they have to keep trying until they finally hit it big, or achieve whatever it is they want to. But I see that you're very creative here. You've got two cards here that lead me to believe that. Over the High Priestess here, who's making a decision, but see, the Two of Swords is all about making a decision, like, where do I put these swords? But she's got a blindfold on, so she doesn't have all the information, right? So that's like two of those, where there's not all the information, and you're trying to make decisions. Now, decisions are different than choices. Choices are like when you can choose what you want, or things like that, or you have multiple choices, you can choose that. Decisions are more like, what do I cut away? I mean, the word size is in the word decision, right? It's cutting, right? Size. So decisions. So you're having to make some decisions, or you had to make some decisions where you had to use your intuition, relying upon the information you did have, and you didn't have all the information. And working hard for what you want. So it looks like you're on the right path. You're doing the right things. Now, this to me reminds me a bit of one of the songs that was coming through by Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush. They sing a song called Don't Give Up. And the song is about a man who feels like a loser right now. As a matter of fact, let me read some of the lyrics. It says, in this proud land we grew up strong. We were wanted all along. I was taught to fight, taught to win. I never thought I could fail. No fight left, or so it seems. I'm a man whose dreams have all deserted. I've changed my face, I've changed my name, but no one wants you when you lose. And then he says, though I saw it all around, never thought that I could be affected, thought that we'd be last to go. It is so strange the way things turn, drove the night toward my home, the place that I was born. On the lakeside, as daylight broke, I saw the earth, the trees had burned down to the ground. And he goes on, moved to another town, tried hard to settle down for every job, so many men, no one needs. So it might be that you or the person you're thinking about, this is about, you know, they feel like they worked really hard, but they haven't really achieved what they want to, and are just kind of in a down, sorrowful moment right now. But Kate Bush's part of the duet, she's saying, don't give up because you have friends. Don't give up. You're not beaten yet. Don't give up. I know you can make it good. And to me, I feel like this represents what your spirit guides are saying to you. You might have some good supportive people around you too, but I feel like mostly you've been doing this by yourself. She says, rest your head. You worry too much. See, that's worry right there. That's worry, right? It's going to be all right. When times get rough, you can fall back on us. Don't give up. Please don't give up. So I feel like one of the main messages of this reading is just don't give up, you know, just keep on going. Sometimes we have hard times and it seems like we're just like, oh, I just can't go on, you know, work so hard and everything. But I can see there's a glimmer of hope, especially with this news that came in, whatever this clarity is or this good fortune that came in quickly that maybe you were not expecting. So utilize that, let go of the sorrows if possible, and keep working towards that 10 of Pentacles. You might just have to do it in kind of a different way, right? It kind of reminds me too of the other song that was coming through, which was I am, let's see, I think Therefore I Am by Billie Eilish and everything. And let me just look at the lyrics so I don't mess it up, and I'll tell you why it ties in. So the part that keeps standing out, she says, I don't want press to put your name next to mine. We're on different lines, so I want to be nice enough they don't call my bluff, because I hate to find articles. Rather you remain unremarkable. Got a lot of interviews. When they say your name, I just act confused. She says, stop. What the hell are you talking about? Get my pretty name out of your mouth. We are not the same with or without. Don't talk about me like how you might know how I feel. Top of the world, but your world isn't real. Your world's an ideal. So she's talking about like a stalker or someone who's tried to like trip her up or take credit for her work. And she's like, dude, you're not even my friend. You're like no one. So I kind of feel like maybe someone tried to trip you up, possibly because of that song. We'll see what the other cards say, because I'm going to pull next from this deck. But yeah, so it's saying don't give up, keep on going. Whatever this person did who tried to trip you up or take credit for your work, maybe that's why things took as long as they did and you had to be extra patient. Maybe it was someone you trusted and so it was sorrowful for you. Now you're looking for better partnerships, right? But you're worried. It says trust yourself, trust your intuition. Keep doing the work, you know. People can try to trip you up, but you just got to keep going and then you'll have your success. So let me pull 3 cards from this and see what other information we can get pertaining to this. I'll list all of these decks below so you can get any of these if you like them, and also to give credit to the creators of these beautiful cards. So another one, please. And one more. Okay. Yeah, these make sense. Okay, so here in the crone in the middle here, it says, trusting in the intuition of others can sometimes help you choose a clearer path when the clouds have darkened. So this might be encouragement to actually go get a reading. If you've never done that before, just remember that not all readers are accurate. So if you don't feel like you're getting a clear answer, you can find other readers, and they're free on YouTube, of course, too. So, but always keep a healthy distance from any reading, even if it sounds really accurate, because your intuition is what you need to trust more than anybody else's, right? So, but I feel like it's interesting its intuition is coming up because you have 2 intuitive cards. So maybe you do need some guidance or help from somebody else who's intuitive, but I would say trust your intuition right now because this is going to get you through anything. And then we have here the dwarf. It says you are capable of more than you can imagine. You can operate your life on a grander scale regardless of your stature. So it's just saying if you're feeling small right now, like with that song, the Don't Give Up song, understand that maybe you have a bigger effect than you thought. Try not to see yourself as small. You are the king of your own world or queen of your own world, right? So do the best you can within your own world. And then Amanita here is saying be careful with your poisons and remember that less is more. There's no need to be the last to leave the party. You know, sometimes it's good to just kind of keep moving, keep going, keep moving forward. And when she's talking about poisons here, what immediately came to mind is inner self-talk. These mushrooms on her head, see? So it's just like, be careful about criticizing yourself or calling yourself a loser or doing anything like that that's negative, because you don't need to be beating yourself up like that. There are enough people in the world who will beat you up. You don't need to do that to yourself. As a matter of fact, better inner talk will give you better results for sure. Yeah, because then even the negativity, you keep talking negative, then it will block your intuition too. So try not to do that. Try to be good to yourself, speak kindly to yourself, and see yourself as the leader of your world, that you are important regardless, and you don't need to impress anybody else. You don't need to be the last one at the party. You don't need to be the tallest person in the room. You know, you don't need to be the youngest person in the room. You don't need to be the best at anything in the room necessarily. You know, just love yourself the way that you are, and that's a really great place to start. Be grateful for what you are and what you do have, and don't compare. Oh man, I have trouble speaking today. What is that? Are you having trouble communicating? Are you having trouble like saying what you need to say? Maybe you feel like you're in situations, maybe you go to a party and you don't know what to say or how to connect with people. That's quite possible. That's very weird. Okay. Yeah, so let's go ahead and pull on what your obstacles are and see what they say. Yeah, but don't compare yourself to others. And frankly, I find life is better when you really just don't care what other people think about you. What they think about you is their business. You don't have to impress anybody. You just have to make yourself happy, right? That's what's important. What you think about yourself is what is important. All right, 3 cards, please, on obstacles for this collective. What are the obstacles that we need to address? Another one, please. Okay, interesting. And then another one. Yeah, you know what? You might be having to defend yourself. Let's see. Another one, please. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, you've got the 7 of Cups, the 7 of Wands, and the 9 of Cups. We'll just start. We'll go left to right here. All right, the 7 of Cups. So it might be that you've been dealing with a bit of confusion. It's right over the 7 of Cups here, right? This is about having lots of choices and options, but it also can be about confusion. You know, and it might be that at times you've been confused on which road to take because things weren't working out, perhaps. Yeah, because it looks like you've got the 7 of Wands here, and this is having to defend yourself. This is having to take the high road. It's about having to have to like stand up for yourself and be assertive. And maybe it's been difficult because there have been people around you who are trying to trip you up, like we were talking about. Yeah, I would say, yeah, you've really had to work hard, and maybe you've had a hard time being able to defend yourself because you didn't have all the information. It could be that you've been dealing with things like spiritual warfare, for instance, which is, you know, people trying to manipulate energy in the background to cause you problems, to cause you blockages and things. And when you don't know where it's coming from, sometimes it's hard to know who to eliminate out of your life. And that's when you've got to access your guides and your spiritual protection, put a bubble of light around you every single day, ask for, pray for, you know, help from your guides, ask for intervention from Great Spirit or God, whatever your construct is for your spirituality. But access your spirituality, because I feel like there's been a lot of stuff going on that you're not aware of, and you know it's there, you know it's been going on, and you're wondering, this can't just be bad luck, this has to be, you know, this can't be, you know, I'm a good person and everything, so it's got to be, you know, something else. So maybe there was somebody who's been playing in the background who shouldn't be doing that, and they're going to get their karma, of course. Don't worry, that always bounces back. But do back to senders. That's always a good thing. You should look into that. But that might be what something that's been a blockage for you, although I feel like you're finally getting maybe some clarity here, and you'll be able to overcome that, taking a different route. Maybe you've had to be creative, and maybe you've had to take different routes because like perhaps maybe you don't post on social media anymore, so nobody knows what you're doing, so they can't sit there and like energetically mess it up or go and try to sabotage you with gossip or slander or whatever it is they're doing. yeah, or wherever your job is or things like that. Maybe you're just like, you keep things really close to yourself now because you felt like you really had to defend yourself. It's been a problem. I can see that. And it's been blocking your, what you feel like is your Nine of Cups. But here's the thing, and I know it's hokey to say because you hear it all the time, but happiness actually does come within. And this is why you've got to work on your inner talk. You got to work on being strong inside of yourself so that when people do pull all this crap and everything, that you're still happy inside of yourself. I promise you, this is how I live. I'm happy pretty much all the time now because I've had all kinds of people do nasty things for no reason at all. And, you know, I've had to learn that my happiness doesn't come from what other people think. It comes from what I want to do. And I find what I want to do is fulfilling for me. And, yeah, my days are happier now because of that. I highly recommend that. But let's look and see what the solutions are, what's recommended here for you. What are the best things that you can do to get the best results? But whatever you do, don't give up. It's very, very, it's in my head right now, that song. So maybe you need to go listen to that song. Yeah. Yeah, as a matter of fact, my guides are ringing in my ear now too. So definitely go check out that song. Don't give up. All right, so. Well, all right, so literally the tree stump, this one here says, refusing to give up. So don't give up. It says staying rooted. So always, you know, one of the techniques I use if I feel ungrounded for some reason is I see roots growing from my feet into the earth, deep into the earth, and that gets me grounded immediately. And if you do this every morning, this will help you if you have problems with staying grounded to literally, like, the visuals will help you. And it seems to be that you are some sort of creative person, so you might have strong visual abilities anyway. So utilize that to do that type of thing. Yeah, it says new growth here. And this one says abandoned barrel, feeling left behind. Don't worry, there's more to want. And in that song, she's saying, you worry too much, right? The love you give, you keep. So, yeah, so if you're feeling a little bit left behind, sorrowful and everything, this is not the end. As a matter of fact, there's a new cycle starting here, which is what this is and also what this is. The Midnight Moth says, your will is the way, what lights you up. And then quiet moves. So don't let anybody know what you're doing. We were talking about that. So you don't have any saboteurs, right? And then what ends begins again. So you're starting a new cycle that looks like, because the Fool here and this card here. So just trust that this is a good thing that you're doing, this starting this new cycle and leaving this other stuff behind. You don't need to let anybody know what you're doing because you don't want anybody sabotaging. And stay as grounded as you possibly can, right? Don't give up. Okay, so let's see what your ancestors have to say. These enormous cards. Okay, we're just going to pull 2 cards from this because they're so big. All right, 2 cards, please, ancestors. Okay, so we have reflection and balance. I feel like your ancestor's saying, look, get your balance again, get your footing again, get grounded again, right? And you can do this gracefully. She's a very graceful ballerina. But what this is going to require are 2 things. So reflection means a couple different things. Reflection means maybe pulling back and really looking at things, reflecting on what happened in the past, how you want to move forward. But reflection is also looking at yourself in the mirror and speaking kindly to yourself. That's what it's saying. So, you know, build up your own self-esteem inwardly. You don't have to share that with anyone or tell anyone what you're doing. Both kinds of reflection, the inner reflection of taking a real assessment of things, and also looking at yourself in the mirror with love and saying nice things to yourself, all builds inner strength, which helps you with your balance. And I really feel like that's what that's saying. So let's pull from this deck and see, we'll pull 3 cards from this one and see if there's anything else, and then we'll do one last pull. Yeah, what do we need to know, please, for this collective? Okay, well, I think it's interesting. We have 3 flying creatures here. Even though this is a bunny rabbit, it has this like leaf thing on it, looks like wings. And these are both birds, obviously. So it's time to fly. It's time to be the fool, to go out on this new adventure is what I'm seeing. So we have hawk spirit, nightingale spirit, and rabbit spirit. This one says, hawk spirit says, let spirit be your guide. So, if you don't have a spiritual construct, create one. That's what imagination is for, is to help us create what we need to internally so that we can tap in and be connected to the divine, right? Because we are divine beings ultimately. But let spirit be your guide. So if you don't know which way to go, and it's saying in here a few times that you've been confused, maybe you're not sure of what to do next. You're just having to trust. So trust that spirit has a plan, and that if you talk to your guides a lot, your spirit team, and build a strong construct or strong relationship with them, with God and everything, then you always have a place to go inward for answers. I highly recommend that. It definitely works. It says, a nightingale spirit says, love is all around. And this has something to do with song. I feel like maybe you need to upgrade the music you're listening to, maybe music that, go listen to these songs I'm talking about, but also maybe listen to higher vibe music like 528 hertz, which is the heart chakra, which is about compassion, and higher. So those are all really good ones to really lift your spirits up, and do that daily if you can. You can find it free on YouTube. So love is all around. Isn't there a song that goes, love is all around me, I feel it in the air? I think that's a song from like 70s, and I have no idea who sang it, but that might be a good song to look into. So, just lift your spirits up however you can to. Definitely, I'm feeling strongly that music or sound is very important to you, and that's going to help you move into a higher vibe. And then Rabbit Spirit is saying now is a lucky time, which is great. That's excellent. So, things are lucky now. You've got the sun over here, right? So this is good luck. So take advantage of this time to get really clear on what you want to do, to keep moving forward, to go out on this new adventure, and trust that everything is going to work out, because it's lucky right now. That's excellent. Okay, let's pull from this deck. I'm just going to pull 2 cards from this deck, and we'll wrap it up. And the drawing over here should be almost finished, and then you will be able to see the finished piece in just a minute with colorization too. All right, what do we need to know, please, for this collective? Let's see. And another bird, yay. And, okay. Getting a lot of birds today. All right. Okay, so what I'm seeing, this is individuality and sacrifice. And individuality says every person has their own personalized study plan in this Earth School. So just keep that in mind. This Earth School, this 3D realm, this is not all of who we are. We're here right now in this body at this particular time to learn particular lessons. And you don't have to feel like you're a superstar in the world. And if you are, that's great. But you don't have to everybody doesn't have to know your name or your face necessarily for you to complete the missions that you came to complete in this particular lifetime, as we have multiple lifetimes. So see all the different birds. We have different lifetimes, and we play different roles, and we learn different things, and there are multiple butterflies too. So whatever is meant for you, if you're really not clear and you're not sure and everything, this is the time to go inward, inner reflection, right? To realign with what your mission is, what your purpose is, and what you needed to learn. So you can do that, and you can ask your guides to help you, your spirit team. And then this says sacrifice. So it says sometimes surrender is painful. God's cutting away all that needs to go, illusions, obsessions, addictions. It's a sacrifice to love. So sometimes we have to give up things that we maybe are very attached to, right? Maybe there is someone in our life who's extremely toxic, but we love them and we don't want to let them go, but we need to for our own health. I've had to do this many times in my life. Sometimes you just have to let a relationship go or get super distant from it to be able to heal and be healthy and everything. Because some people are just toxic and they just pull you down, right? So perhaps if God is saying to you, don't give up, right? Your spirit team's saying loudly, don't give up. It's not saying don't necessarily give up. It's not saying don't give up on yourself. It's not really about other people. It's about don't give up on yourself. So there might be some sort of assessment that needs to take place with regard to who is in your life, who actually, is good for you, is healthy for you, and actually you know, helps build your positive energy as opposed to somebody who drains you constantly or is bringing you down constantly. I mean, people go through things, so sometimes maybe a person's just going through a down time and they'll come back up again, but sometimes people are just downers and they just drain the life out of everybody around them and they can't get out of their piss poor attitudes and stuff like that, and that might be someone you need to get a distance from, yeah, or, you know, create a different type of relationship with them. Yeah, so that looks really good. I feel like I want to pull though one more, and I'm kind of getting that I want to pull from the Isis deck, so let me find that. Okay, let's see what Isis has to say. She's been coming through really strong for me, and I don't think there's any coincidence. So let's pull one and see what the advice is. Okay, so that's the image. Looks like Isis and Osiris, who was her husband, who rules the underworld, right? So, but miracle of Isis. Isis offers a miracle healing. No matter how much you've struggled with a particular matter, no matter how impossible it may seem to imagine your life without this old wound, addiction, problem, relationship issue, or inner struggle being part of it, you are guided now to accept the possibility of miraculous healing. Let go and let the goddess be. It's exactly what this card was saying, the letting go. Yeah, because you want love to come in, right? You want your good stuff to come in. So it's just a reiteration of that, which is kind of interesting. Literally, it says, without the old wound, addiction, problem, relationship issue, it says, God's cutting away all that needs to go, illusions, obsessions, addictions. It says the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, so that's your message. I hope that helped. And I hope that you at least found some inspiration in watching me create the drawing here, and you'll see the finished piece in a second. And I truly do appreciate your viewing, and also for any likes, subscribes, and comments. If you want me to show up in your feed, and because I only post usually every couple of weeks right now, but if you want me to show up in your feed, you need to click the bell with the little ding things, the symbols on the side of it. But yeah, that all helps the channel grow so more people can get the messages that are needed. But I do appreciate you. And until I see you next time, thank you. Bye-bye.